Hello, everyone. I want to cover two PulseChain projects that I like. Now, I'm not suggesting that you like these or buy them or do whatever, but there's an interesting change that's happening as we get more and more excited about PulseChain. And one of those that I find fascinating is that hexagons who have been very protective of Hex and who are bound to be protective of Pulse are now having to open themselves up to other projects or products that are coming into the ecosystem. We need developers creating cool things on Pulse in order for it to be successful. Now, some of you might be Hex purists, and the only reason that you care about Pulse is because you want faster and cheaper fees for Hex. That's fine. You can do whatever you want. But I want to talk today about Liquid Loans and PulseDoge. So Liquid Loans, it goes pretty deep, and a lot of people have read the white paper and still don't have the specifics of what it is. But the simplest way to describe it is that it allows you to collateralize. I'm just going to use Pulse in this example. Collateralize your Pulse and then take a loan out in a stable coin they call USDL to do other things with. So what this means is, I'll take my buddy T Gray. He got into Hex relatively early, but not enough to build out crazy ladders. So his interest in the sacrifice phase with buying a bunch of Pulse, so that when Hex on Pulse, what we will call Hex, what a lot of people call P Hex now, he'll be able to buy that and fill in those gaps in his ladders. That's great. That's a great approach. What he was going to have to do was sell that Pulse. So he's going to push the price down of Pulse, owning other Pulse, to then get that Hex so that he could run those stakes. Liquid Loans makes it so that he can then take that Pulse, collateralize it, get USDL, and they even use this example in their white paper, and buy and stake Hex. And the best thing about Liquid Loans, from what I understand, is that there's no interest. There's no interest that's paid. It's just a fee. In fact, they say here the first truly decentralized liquidity platform on PulseChain. So it's immutable, it's non-custodial, no admin keys, and it's governance free. So I want you to note these specific things in this thread. This is a crypto lending platform that does not have admin keys. Have we heard that before? Yes, in Hex. I'm really, really excited to see what these guys do with it. In fact, this is by hexagons, that are known. Jesse, the pit boss, is one of the folks that's on it. And he says, big projects and manipulators will migrate to PulseChain eventually. Good point. There are going to be scam coins. There's going to be rug pulls on PulseChain. If you are fancying yourself the arbiter of good things on the PulseChain, you're gonna be literally playing whack-a-mole, trying to virtue signal what is good and what is bad. Make those decisions on your own. Verify, don't trust. Just because someone's making a project, just because they're a hexagon making a project on Pulse, does not mean that it's necessarily honorable. But I would argue that if you've seen them in the community and they've offered value to you and they're launching a project, well, then they're going to say specific things and have a certain way of speaking about that. And not only that, but have friends in their network or people that trust them to be able to do it. So always verify, don't trust. But this idea of community-driven, trustless, immutable, decentralized, censorship-resistant, no counterparty risk, algorithmic projects is really, really cool. And I think that I'm following this project because I think this is really awesome. And so my buddy will be able to collateralize his Pulse and run his Hex stakes and not sell down the price. And if you didn't participate in the sacrifice phase, then it's going to make it even more difficult to get Pulse, because now all these people who are going to sell their Pulse for P Hex or Hex, as it will be called, they now have a way to not do that and still obtain it. If you did participate in the sacrifice and you're going to have Pulse, then this is super bullish. It means that there's even more Pulse that will not be sold, not pushing that price down. So that's super exciting. Now, the second one is PulseDoge. And some people despise, hopefully the page will load here, despise meme coins. And you know what? You're entitled to that. This project was started back, I think, in August or something. I remember, and I see some people that understand what's going on around here. I'll say, and I see others that that are judging this particular project. But let's look at what they are explaining, what they're doing here. It's a community token launched fairly on the Binance Smart Chain with the intention of onboarding users from there to the upcoming PulseChain launch. So what they're doing is there's they're the strategy is moving economic energy from Binance Smart Chain to the PulseChain. There are literally millions of people that are on Binance Smart Chain projects that don't care about Ethereum based projects, that like the Safe Moons and the proof of work, or proof of weak hands, I should say, model, the tokenomics and reflections and things like that. This project is intelligently and in like with precision is looking at the folks that are on Binance Smart Chain, and saying, hey, if you buy it now, you're going to get a free copy on the PulseChain. I just think it's super smart. And again, let's look at how they explain it. No admin keys, no developer tokens, no fake burn. I mean, they're doing this in a way that I would argue even hinders possibly some of the adoption that they might get, because a lot of these people like those reflections coming off. They see that as a benefit. And I'm not here to judge whether that is or isn't. But if you look at all the components of what it is that they have, 100% liquidity locked. Like this is in my opinion, this is a project that is done by a hexagon. I mean, it's clearly done by a hexagon. Look at the graphics. Their meme game is insane. I mean, they're just funny, and they have clearly funny people on their team that are talented with memes. But if you look at the way they're speaking about it, no admin keys, community driven. This some of the I don't want to even call it the ethos, but some of the mechanics of the project itself they're checking all the boxes. So if you don't like meme coins and you're not interested in it, then that's fine. What I would ask, and I responded to someone on Twitter today who didn't like this. They said, "What's the value here?" Is if you're a hexagon and you're a pulse holder, whatever the name is, Poseidon something, whatever those things are, and you see someone who is in the community, and it appears that they've been in the community a while, and they are picking a lane. Understand that there's smart hexagons that are not the cookie cutter, all the things that you think that they need to be, and that sometimes those lanes have a strategy behind them, and that strategy is adoption, bringing new people into Pulse, bringing new people into Hex. I've seen screenshots from the PulseDoge people that they literally got people into PulseDoge, and then those people learned about Hex and are saying, I'm so glad I found this because I found Hex. That's amazing. So, and then I'll just note here, Trayvon James, the other day, I'm predicting PulseDoge Win is one of the first coins to go viral on PulseChain. I agree with this statement. I think that it is. I've seen over the past couple of months, I've seen some OGs, some Hex OGs that are, I don't know, I'll say supporting. I don't know. I mean, they're not showing like, yeah, I definitely bought it, but they're being positive because this person or this team of people has shown themselves in the community and has been around, and they've taken a lot of crap. I mean, it's sort of how things go in Hex. They've taken a lot of crap, some of it from hexagons, but these two projects are by hexagons with utilizing the mechanics and some of the things that they have learned that make Hex special, and that we all believe that will make Pulse special. And they're launching new projects. And there's going to be a lot of people that aren't hexagons. And we got the airdrop. So there's going to be communities of people that are coming on. So I'm not saying do whatever you want. You can judge people. You can call them out. You can do all these different things. But these two specific projects, I'm really, really excited about seeing how it is that they go. And it just so happens that PulseDoge is like gone parabolic the past couple of days. In fact, I think it's pretty funny because the PulseDoge people made Trayvon. They made a meme of him, and he turned it into his profile picture. So crypto's fun. It's fun. There's cool stuff. We have interesting things that are going on in the space, and PulseChain is Absolutely fascinating, the stuff that's going on. So I look forward to seeing more projects that are popping up. And yeah, they should all have the same scrutiny as anything that's coming on. But a lot of this, starting now and as things build up, we're going to have to look for the signal in the noise to determine whether or not we want to support something. And maybe we don't. Maybe you just like Hex and you just want to hold your pulse and allocate it and stake it. And that's totally cool too. Let me know what you think in the comments about liquid loans. I see some buzz building about that. PulseDoge has been around. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on either of these. And that's pretty much it for me today. Thanks so much.